I didn't mean to end the last video, part one, so dramatically. I had to go investigate a strange noise, but I'm back and want to talk a little bit more about early American literature, religion. We were talking about Thomas Granger. He was executed. The animals that he was accused of buggering were actually thrown in a pit and burned as well. They were completely destroyed according to biblical tradition. So yeah, the Puritans, they didn't leave out anything just because it made them look bad. They threw in every detail that they could because with the theory of the elect, they wanted to make sure the records were kept perfect, so they could be imitated, the good and the bad. Let's see. Oh, okay. So Puritanism did not stay. Of course, if you think about religion today, we don't have that many people we would necessarily call a Puritan in their denomination. What happened? Puritanism began to lose its hold. Now, I'm not going to sit here and tell you all the reasons that Puritanism started to lose popularity. We're going to read someone who does, I think, a very good job of offering some explanation of what happens to Puritanism in American life. Crevecoeur will give some really good explanations that involve things like marriage, things like work commitments, and other things that we'll come back to. Keep in mind that there's also other religions in America at this time. They gained some popularity. There are also some brand new denominations that arise. Puritanism really just kind of, it didn't disappear. That theory of the elect and the limited atonement changed into a more comprehensive atonement, a more inclusive atonement, and really kind of led to some of the Protestant and Baptist beliefs of today. Maybe were influenced by it. Um, One thing I want to talk about, though, is very important for Jonathan Edwards. He was a part of what's called the Great Awakening. There's arguably three Great Awakenings so far, but he was part of the first. Basically, Jonathan Edwards saw that the religious fervor and the religious passion, basically, that these people came to America with was really starting to dwindle. And he did not like that. He looked on the society that was supposed to be the society that was this city on a hill, and he did not really care. He thought the example that they set could be a better example. So you have this movement of rekindling the religious spark, that passion that may have cooled a bit with entrance into the New World, America. Um, this did kind of lead to more of a movement in of religion into hands of the common man. It wasn't really as isolated in its presentation. Also, something that's pretty interesting, if you read enough early American literature, especially around the early 1800s to the mid 1800s, there are a lot of books that star ministers. Ministers became during this period of Great Awakening, they became this kind of rock star figure. They'd be that may be a bad metaphor, and this may be a bad metaphor as well, but they really seem to be in the writings kind of like celebrities. A lot of books will feature as a lead character a minister who comes into a new town. He's green behind the ears. He doesn't really know anyone, and the book is about the trials and tribulations this minister has in trying to find his place in the town. They were very, very marriable people. As far as if there was a young minister, he would have his pick of potential ladies to marry. Um, One of the biggest things about the Great Awakening, though, is that it really did lead to a reformation of Puritanism. Like I said, Puritanism didn't necessarily disappear, it just really changed shape. and it will continue to influence some of the literature that we discuss. The ideas that we see in Puritan ideas will be challenged in other movements such as transcendentalism. But just remember, the literature we look at in here often builds off of itself. We won't be like, okay, this week we read this and we're completely done with it. Don't ever think about Puritanism again. No, in the literature that we continue to read, keep in mind the ideas that we are exposed to, for example, this week's unit, and see how those ideas are still present or how maybe they're changed. And you should be able to do some good work. So I look forward to the continued discussion. You're doing very good with discussion. Remember that your participation this week, you only have to have one message instead of three, but trust me, I want that message to be a well-developed message, and some of you are doing a very good job of that. So please keep it up and enjoy.